Hey everyone, welcome to the kingdom. It's been a while, but I'm just gonna get straight back into it. So today we're gonna do an unboxing video. I received 500 black soldier flies from GrubTerra, and I'm gonna open it and show you guys, and then I'm gonna see if the geckos will eat any of them. I find it kind of ironic how I saw a video on Instagram of a bearded dragon eating black soldier fly larvae, and they completely terrified me. So if you have kept insectivores, you know a lot of people aren't fond of dealing with bugs, but they like the reptiles enough to kind of just put up with them because they do need to eat live insects. With leopard geckos, I've dealt with dubia roaches, super worms, mealworms, crickets, and this is the first time I'm going to try a black soldier fly larva. I think the worst one for me were the dubia roaches just because they get so big. I wasn't fond of the worms before, but I'm okay with mealworms. I actually breed my own now. Super worms, I'm still not a huge fan of just because they do get so big. And I don't like crickets either just because they jump around, and I have found them loose in my room. So it was a little cooler when I did receive them. It's supposed to be 60 today in my area, but they are an insect that you can keep at lower temperatures to slow down their metabolism, just like mealworms. So I've had this box in my room for about an hour or so now, and if I hold it up to my ear, I can hear them move. So I'm just gonna get them out of there so we can see what they look like. So this is the packaging that they came in. It's a 500 count, and it's pretty cool. It's labeled really well, and it even tells you to recycle it here. So they don't use tape on this box, but it's pretty snug, so we shouldn't have a problem in shipping. So this is just some of the coconut bedding that was fine enough to fall out. I'm terrified right now because the black soldier fly larvae are larvae, but I was like, for mealworms, they just turn into beetles. For black soldier fly larvae, they turn into flying insects. And I have a fear that once I open it, it's just gonna explode with flying bugs. But I know it's not that. It's an irrational fear. So I'm just gonna peek in. Oh my god, I can do this. Okay. I'm just gonna open it your way first, so if anything does fly out, it's gonna go towards you instead of me, even though you're not here. I'm gonna be right back. So I got my tongs just so I'm not touching it, even though I'm sure it makes no difference. Okay, so they're all under the coconut bedding, so you can't see them. Let me just bring them up to you. Okay, they're all at the bottom. Okay, they're not that bad. They actually kind of just look like waxworms. And waxworms I'm used to, so they're not as scary, but I just didn't see how they do that. If you put them on a flat surface, they kind of do the worm rather than move around like normal insects, even though, worms. Okay, they're not that bad. So now that they're open, they're actually in really good shape too. So normally I get my mealworms from Rainbow Mealworms now, but before I used to get them at Petco just because that was what was readily available for me. And a lot of the times at Petco you always have to open the cups just because people steal some, and a lot of the times most of them are dead. But going through this one, they're I don't want to pour them out the cup, but if you go down there, see them? There are a ton of them. So I'm just gonna section some out into a dish to feed them, and then I'll get back to you guys. This is my feeding dish that I use just to section out bugs. It is just a ramekin from Target. I think it was $3.99 or $4.99, but if you guys want to get one, you can probably find it at Ross or Home Goods, TJ Maxx too. It's too bright to see, but it's basically got really high sides, and it's smooth finish so the bugs can't get out. Unless they're crickets. I don't do crickets in here. I'm just gonna take out a good amount, and then anything I don't use, I'll put it back. So I'll be putting them in the bowl, but I will be fast forwarding it so you don't have to watch me grab every individual insect. So I just went ahead and put a bunch in the bowl. One thing I forgot to mention is that I did do some research on these before they were sent out. You can use them as a good stable feeder for leopard geckos and other reptiles. They're one of the better feeders, and they are high in calcium, so you don't have to dust them. But you do still want to regularly feed them different varieties of insects and dust the other ones that don't contain that much calcium. What I do like about these guys are that I can feed them to my leopard geckos. I have some larger tetra that could probably eat these as well. And if you had any like chickens or insectivore birds, you could probably give them to that too. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you guys over to the leopard geckos, which are right over here behind me, and we'll feed them. Right before I do feed them though, so I just looked it up on my phone just because I wanted to make sure I was giving you guys the right information. You do not refrigerate black soldier fly larvae, but if you want to keep them in the larval state for a little bit longer, 50 to 55 degrees will keep them in this form, but room temperature, don't refrigerate them, only mealworms. So we're over here at the gecko rack, and I'm just going to do a quick introduction just in case no one knows all my geckos. I do have 3. They're all in their own 40-gallon exoterras. At the bottom, I have Honey, who came out because right here, I unlocked all their enclosures for feeding, and they do know when they're being fed. This is Cookie. And up here, I've had a gecko that I haven't named for almost 2 to 3 years now. She's a super snow eclipse, but she does have a bit of a vision problem with light. That is something that I've noticed may be linked to their morph. So a lot of people with the same gecko say it's a little bit harder for them to feed. I notice it especially when her lights are on, but if I dim them during feeding or feed her at night, she has completely no issue with aim. So I normally feed her last just so I can turn off the light for her and then back on after. So I did already give her one to test out just for an Instagram story, and now she's looking for more. But we are gonna start at the bottom with Honey. Okay, so we're gonna feed Honey first, and he is my only male leopard gecko. It looks like he's about to shed too, super pale. But normally he is a bright yellow. I'm just gonna bring the bowl right here real quick, and you know where you eat, it's over in your dish. He is my largest leopard gecko, so I'm gonna give him a few more than I give the others. So they're all in his dish, so he sees them. He got one. So he's actually a really good weight right now. Cookie's a little bit on the chunkier side. I've learned over time that females are a little bit harder to manage with weight. So they seem to put on weight a lot faster than the males do for some reason. So the whole time I'm just going to supervise him, make sure none of the insects get out into his enclosure. Just make sure he eats everything, and then I can remove whatever he doesn't eat. So this is his first time eating soldier fly larvae too, and they seem to all really enjoy it with no issue. I'm also gonna assume that you guys don't want to watch 10 minutes of each leopard gecko eating food. Just gonna show you guys a few bites and then I'll move on to the next ones. So Honey has 2 left right there. Just gonna make sure you eat those, but someone's already patiently waiting. I wouldn't say patiently, but she is waiting up here for her food. And then I'm headed up there next. There's 7 little buggies crawling around. As soon as she sees them, she's gonna look crazy. So you're about to see what I mean about like the difference between males and females eating. Cookie just has like a really mean bite in general. You finished those worms in the time that Honey took to eat. One worm, dude. Okay. Mom's gonna go pick up dim sum. And I'm on my elephant stool for here because it's pretty tall. So she is a bit more of a mean eater than even Cookie. So she's coming up. I forgot where I put my tongs. I guess I'll just use these ones. Oh, there they are. Put all her wormies in here, and I do try to tongue feed each and every one of them just because it is a bit harder for her to see them. So this one I try to work more on sensory than sight with her. She knows when feeding time is, but just like that. A little fuzzy. My camera's not been focusing well and I don't know why. Help her a little more. I could probably turn off her UVB light too. So now her eyes are wide open. You can more so just guide her to where the bugs are. See how she aims a little bit more when the lights are off? And then I'm just gonna give her this last one and then feed her the rest off camera. I wonder if I can guide her to them so she can eat herself. She just sees so much better when the lights are off. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here. So I'm just gonna make sure she eats the rest of what she got, and then I'll go see if the Congo tetras will eat some. So me just being me, I did record me dropping the larva into the tank, but I accidentally deleted it. So we're not gonna see them eat it. But there is one floating around back there. I just have to wait for the Congo tetras to come out and eat them because they're a little shy. Basically what I covered was that this is a quarantine tank. I took down their tank. I'm doing a bunch of rescapes in here. Gonna make a bigger saltwater tank. Gonna put another shallow there, fix up that shallow, and then do a better terrarium in place of the shrimp tank right here. So I do believe they were gonna send me a discount code. If they do, I will also link that in the description for you guys. That's basically all I wanted to cover was the unboxing and seeing how the leopard geckos would feel about them. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye everyone.